Hey guys, it's Kubrick here from Kick It to Scoops. I am the sole admin of AFL information, trade rumours and results. You want to be part of the show, Kick It to Scoops? Send through your questions through the Facebook link, which I'll attach every show on the post. And if you want to email me at aflinfolive@gmail.com, send through your questions and you may feature on the show and be answered your question from yours truly, Kubrick, for free. Yes, for free. If you want to be on the show, as I said, send it through and I'll get back to you. Go Saints! Too easy this is. Kick It to Scoops.
Hello everyone and welcome to Kick It to Scoops. I'm your host, Kubrick, the sole admin of AFL information, trade rumours and results, and I've got a very, very loaded show for you guys today. You might say, Cooper, the footy's over. What the hell can you be talking about? Well, the trade period is coming up tomorrow. Well, the free agency starts tomorrow from 9 a.m. and the trade period itself starts on Monday, but there's been a lot of chatter, so I'm going to go through some trade talk. I'm going to go through some season reviews. 5 clubs today. We've gone through 8 so far. We'll go through 5 today and potentially 5 next week. There's 5 I'm going to go through today are Gold Coast, Carlton, Freo and for Adelaide. Obviously the world famous segment Scoops goes bang. And also the lengthy investigation revealed, the long, extensive, lengthy investigation, all will be revealed today on the show. All shall be exposed. The truth shall be heard. And in the end, after you see what the investigation is about, they will have no choice but to, you guessed it, acknowledge me. I am the head of the table. I am the tribal chief. They will have to acknowledge me. Also, we've got that, and I'll have my final thoughts, but first off, I want to start with this. You want me on Cameo, head to cameo.com/CooperG. That is always open to you guys 24/7. If you want to personalize a video message for anything, whether it's someone's birthday, you want me to write anything at all, send it through and I'll complete it if it's appropriate, of course. Merch, there's a lot of merch. And now I can exclusively reveal. People say, Cooper, you're trying to act like Roman Reigns from the WWE. Well, you guys will have nothing. Well, nothing. No. There will be nothing. The new top I can exclusively reveal right here on the show it's available right now. The Acknowledge Me t-shirt now available. The price is in the link in the description for merch. So get your Acknowledge Me t-shirts right now. I think this will be a big selling t-shirt at a lower price. So you guys will have to, in the end, acknowledge me, just like some certain individuals will have to during this show today when I go through the lengthy, extensive investigation. But also, before I get into the segments too, I congratulate people going, oh, Cooper, you're really going to do this? I want to congratulate the Melbourne Football Club for winning the grand final. It was a big win. Christian Petrarca was best on grade, winning the Norm Smith medal. Obviously, Melbourne had a big win. Melbourne started off well. Obviously, the Bulldogs came back. And then I think it was over 100 points to 17 after the 16-minute mark in the third quarter. Melbourne went bang, bang, bang. But now it's time for me to go banging with Scoops Goes Bang! Western Bulldogs, eh? Do you remember the over-celebrating you guys did after the prelims win against the Power in Adelaide? You over-exaggerated. The win is a great win. but you jumped the gun. I said at the time, people were going, Cooper, you're an absolute idiot. They're going to win the grand final. Well. They lost. They over-celebrated. They got arrogant. They got cocky. And they come back to bite them in the ass. And bad luck to them. Now, instead of celebrating, they're going to be whinging. You're seeing them get a bit aggressive in the game. Caleb Daniel and Max Gordon, in that moment, signified the resurgence for the Demons, and the Melbourne Footy Club ended their long drought and won the premiership. The Bulldogs got over cocky, were celebrating, got arrogant. They come back to bite them in the arse, as I said. And what I loved the most was when Melbourne won. Of course, they were going to celebrate. They did the exact same song, the exact same way, and filmed it on the middle of Optus Stadium, and mocked the Western Bulldogs for their celebrations, and Melbourne did it themselves. So Melbourne Football Club, congratulations again. That was a great moment for the Melbourne Footy Club. Fans have been through a lot for a long time, and I know a lot of Melbourne fans who were stuck through the highest, or the lows and the highs, and they deserve this moment. So the Western Bulldogs, come back to bite you in the guts. I'd say lift your game, but you just absolutely ruined yourself with that grand final. So Melbourne, congratulations. And them, people say, oh, Cooper, you don't like Melbourne, you like Melbourne doing about the Bulldogs. That's biased. No, it's not. It's called karma, and yeah, Bulldogs did it, and Melbourne were pretty much rubbing it in. So good on you, Melbourne. Now, Basil Zempilas. Now, people want to say, oh, Cooper's going to roast Basil. Well, no, I'm not roasting Basil. I'm roasting the people that roasted Basil. Now, in an honest mistake, he says he's been up front, saying that he's made a mistake here, but not inviting Simon Goodwin to the stage to speak. Well, he was on the stage, but not to speak to the microphone to the Melbourne fans at the ground and people at home. He made an honest mistake. Baz, as I said, he's hosted Australian Opens, he's hosted the Olympics and a few other things as MC. He admitted he stuffed up. As soon as he realised he stuffed up, he tried to get to the PR team to get Goody back on the stage to speak. But the PR team and the camera crew and that had moved on. So he tried to still, to his credit, make up for the mistake and, get Simon on the stage in some way, shape or form. And he ran into BT, and good show of respect from BT, said, Baz, don't worry about it, mate. I'll get to Goody and I'll speak to him, so don't stress about it. So I'm not roasting Basil. I'm not roasting BT. I'm praising them too. They can technically be my hero of the week is BT. But I'm going to bang on about the people trolling Baz. At least he's got a successful job. At least he's doing something. He's not on his keyboard. Got nothing better to do and shit on people. So Baz, what up, mate? And to the people trolling Basil, lift your game. Now, leave your thoughts down below, guys. Your thoughts of that Scoops goes bang. Oh, also, live streams. Leave a like, please. Leave a like and comment down below your thoughts of the show in general and every segment I go through today. Costs you guys absolutely nothing to leave a like, so please leave a thumbs up. It helps out the channel immensely, helps me out a lot, helps the channel get out there more, the views go up, and the content I provide goes out there more, which means I can be putting out more and more content. Now, I'm going to go through the season review of the 5 clubs. So let's start off with those clubs. And the first club we're going to go through right here, right now, is Gold Coast. So the highlights for the Gold Coast Suns this year was that win at Marvel Stadium against Richmond. All hail the King, Ben King. When he went bananas. Toik Miller was great in that game. Benny King was awesome. That was probably their best win of the year, or one of anyway, and they had some good form throughout the year, especially around that time. Fights for them, still some big beltings. Previously they normally start well and then they tamper off. It was a bit started well again, but they did have some bad losses, but then they came back to their credit. So trade and draft targets. They need some ruck depth for Jared Witts. They got Matt Conroy, who's a young ruckman who done his ACL at the start of the year. Witsy was injured. Zach Smith was injured for part of the time, and now Zach Smith's gone. So they need some ruck depth, and maybe I'll Chol before they for forward ruck. So that's really the only place they need to target. They've got a tight salary cap and re-sign all their senior listed players. Someone will have to move there to the rookie list just to bring in 3 draftees, which is the minimum requirement yet again for the draft this year. Some players who disappointed and some players that did impress me were Will Powell, Braden Fiorini, Troy Miller, and Noel Anderson. Fiorini came in late in the season, was behind Hugh Greenwood, but once Hugh Greenwood got injured, Fiorini took his spot essentially and dominated and deserved his spot, and hopefully should be on the list next year and play regularly again in the 22. But it will be a bit hard for Fiorini, Miller, Anderson, Rowell, and players like that in the middle. But it's good to have depth, and then have Brandon Ellis as well. So wait and see there. Players are disappointed. Speaking of Matty Rowell, he disappointed in his second year. So did Isaac Rankin, who was dropped late in the year. I know a bit younger, but especially Isaac Rankin was pretty disappointing. Darcy McPherson, who was a regular before this year, in and out of the side this year, he didn't really take his opportunities and found himself in the VFL or scratch matches throughout the majority of the year. The grading for the Gold Coast Suns for me is a C. Now we'll move on to their Hugh clash, right, or their Queensland counterpart in the Brisbane Lions. The Brisbane Lions, the highlights for them were making the finals yet again, winning 7 wins in a row with some big wins in those 7 wins. I think they won 11 out of 13 in that middle part of the year. Some lowlights, though, was their first week of the finals versus Melbourne in Adelaide was pretty disappointing. Now, some trade targets and draft targets for them. They just need some key forward support and ruck. They've been linked to Levi Casbold and Mason Cox. There's some depth options in that key forward area. Very Cooper would essentially going to miss the rest of the year. Maybe, like Joshy Bruce, may miss the majority, if not all. So they need some forward depth, and Cox and Casbold can provide that for 12 months, because Tommy Fullerton, Connor Bellenden probably aren't the number one choices to start in the side. So Levi or Mason could provide support for Joe Danaher and Dan McStay. That's probably the mixture they should go with. Players who disappointed and impressed Daniel Rich, and ruck support. Archie Smith retired too, so that Oscar McNeil. I still don't think he should be their number one ruck, but I think he should be their forward ruck. So they need to target some rucks. Darcy Fort, they've been linked with. Dwayne says, I said, Cox and Casbold as well. Players who disappointed and impressed Daniel Rich, because he's a rich boy. Haven't said that one for a while. Lincoln McCarthy, he rejuvenated his career coming from Geelong. He was injury prone. I questioned it at the time a little bit, but he's proved a lot of people wrong. And Lincoln McCarthy's done great since joining the Lions and pretty much been injured free the whole way through. Dan McStay, particularly in the second half of the year, was pretty good. Also, now people can say, "Oh, Cooper, why are you not saying Neil, Zorko, Lyons, McCluggage?" Yeah, I could, but I have to state the obvious. Joe Danaher was good too. I can't name the whole side, so just remember that. My disappointing players of the Brisbane Lions was Mitch Robinson. Played Charlie Cameron, despite kicking a lot of goals, he was really good in the second half, but his first half of the year was pretty poor. Now, the grading for me from the Brisbane Lions on my report card for the Brisbane Lions is a grade of a B. Now, we'll move on to the third side I'm going to go through, the Carlton Football Club. Now, the highlights for the Carlton Footy Club was a good win on a Friday night at Marvel Stadium against the Saints. Lowlights, treatments of David Teague, which was shown pathetic. Some poor losses versus a lot of sides, including the one against Adelaide in Mark Murphy's 300th game and final game. And they were in the game early in the third quarter, and then they lose by 95 points, something like that. That was really bad and signified, a season how Teague was treated. And that was pretty much the ceiling on the cake that was getting rid of David Teague, although I don't blame him for the majority of their disgraceful performances. Some trade targets and draft targets, midfield support, and they're going to get that through Adam Chera Blues yesterday, and George Hewitt from the Swans, who will go there through for agency. So they get some good midfield support there. Some ruckman. Mark Pitnett's not the number one ruck. 2 or 3 is fine, not one. Tom DeConning is not your 1 or 2 ruckman. Again, he's a pinch hitter, if not even that. Should just be playing key forward. So they need some ruck support. It doesn't look like they're going to get any this year, again, like Geelong. So they need to somehow find their way, maybe a state league ruckman. I'm sure there's a few of them flying around in the Sample and VFL and Waffle. So you just have to go through there. Some players who disappointed and impressed. Impressed was obviously Sam Walsh. Disappointing, who's now requested trade out of the club, is Sam Petreski-Seaton. But I'm not going to go into that. People want to say, but nothing wrong with him, people. Nothing wrong with him. I just don't see him playing. But a Gaff, Shuey, Redden, DeGoey, Yo, Redden, Shuey, Gaff. And then up forward, you go Cooper can play forward. You got Darling, Kennedy, Allen, Jamie Cripps, Jack Petruccelli. He's not getting a game in front of any of them. My grading for the West, for West, I'm getting confused now. My grading on my report card for the Carlton Football Club is a D. A D. Now we'll move on to the fourth club I'm going to go through, the Fremantle Football Club. The highlights for the Dockers was that great derby win versus the Eagles late in the season, and they gave them a shellacking. They hate each other, the Eagles and the Dockers gave them the old heave-ho. Yes, they gave them the old heave-ho versus West Coast, and that was a great win for them. Some lowlights was the last game of the year where there was still a mathematical chance to make finals, but they got smashed by the Saints in Tassie by over 60 points, so they would have been disappointed with ending the season on a low light. Some trade and draft tags, I'll go for them. They don't need anything. They just need to stay injury-free. You had Brennan Cox, you had Griffin Lowe, you had Alex Pearce, and the key defenders all injured. Taberner was injured. Michael Walters was injured. Nat Fife was injured. A lot of injuries at key plays in key areas. Sean Darcy was playing injured. Lloyd Meek, I think, was injured at times as well. So they've got some issues with their injuries. If they just stay injury-free, they'd be pretty good, and they should make the 8, I think, or at least be close to it again. They're all close issue with all these injuries. Without their injuries, they could be right up there in the top 8. A bold prediction, they could be featuring towards, didn't say in, but towards the top 4. Impressed for me, David Mundy, Andy Brayshaw, and Adam Chera, but obviously Chera's now leaving, but Mundy and Brayshaw also were dominant this year, and All-Australian quality type years as did Chera. Some players are disappointed. One, just for the Dockers, is Michael Walters. For his expectations, it was pretty disappointing. Now, for the Dockers, I was long and hard thinking this. Do I give them a B because of all their injuries? But I've gone with a C+, because I think with a lot of injuries, the plus is needed. I was close to giving them a B, but I'll go with C+. Now, the last club I'm going to review today is the Port Adelaide Footy Club. Some highlights for the Port Adelaide Footy Club was smashing Geelong at home in the first week of the finals and obviously progressing to the preliminary final round. But the low light was that prelim loss to the Western Bulldogs, a big loss, and at home. Some trade and draft tags. Well, nothing is needed. They're really well stocked for key defenders. Trent McKenzie, Alia, Tommy Jonas, Jared Lena. They got a lot of plays in that area. I've probably forgotten another main player there. Riley Bondus on a 2-year deal. Robbie Grace on a 1-year deal. Martin Fredericks on a 1-year deal. So the Power are pretty well stocked in every area. The Brownlow medalist, Ollie Wines there. Great midfield there. Boak as well. Scotty Lyce there. A lot of key forwards of Dixon, Laddams if he stays. Chod Marshall, Mitch Georgiades. You've got Butters, Rosie, and Dursworth, the best trio from that draft by far. Power's drafting has been fantastic. The training's been pretty solid as well. So nothing is needed for the Power, really. They just need consistency in their form. They've got the players there. They've got the coach and Kenny Inkley. They just need to get it together. Some players that impressed me for the Power. Zach Butters, obviously the best young player in the comp, or one of at the moment. Ollie Wines, the Brownlow medalist. Carl Amon, who had an underrated year off the wing, who should have been in the All-Australian team. Disgraceful. Trent McKenzie, the cannon, coming late in the end, dominated. And Mitch Georgiades. Tom Cleary, also, I didn't say he's a player that was impressive this year because he was injured for part of it. But he's another key defender they got. And he could be going to St Kilda. So we'll have to wait and see there. Another player that impressed is Mitch Georgiades, a young star of the future. We're laid up forward. Some players are disappointed with Sam Powell-Pepper in and out of the side, and Steve Moller. But now people say, Cooper, he played a bit this year. Yeah, he did. But he had some okay games, but doesn't impress me. I don't think he should be in there starting 22. He's on the cusp of not being in there, though, at the moment. And my grading for the Power, despite having another big loss in the prelim, is a B+. Had a pretty good year. Now, leave your thoughts down below. Goes my grading for my report card for Gold Coast, Carlton, Brisbane, Freo, and Port Adelaide. Now, it's time for the trade talk. Now, it's a long list to go through. The free agency window opens tomorrow, Friday. The trades officially open Monday to the following Wednesday of the next week after. So Wednesday night of the second week. So a week and a half, essentially, for trades. Weekends, trades can't go through Saturdays and Sundays. Free agency offers normally get a 48 to 72-hour window if they want to match particular players for certain free agents. That can happen through the weekend, but you can't really officially put a request through. As of last year, that was the case still, so I assume that is still the case. Now, quick update, or a long update here. Some players, Jordan Dawson was nominated in the Crows. He'll go there. Adam Cerra's nominated Carlton officially yesterday. He'll go there, potentially for picks. Now, Jordan Dawson, he was saying, oh, that's way too much. But their next week's 23, and that's not enough. It's close, but not enough. I pick around the 16 mark is about right. So we'll have to get creative. Maybe there'll be future picks swapped. Maybe Crows will offer 23 and a future first, and Sydney give Adelaide their future first, and Dawson be something like that. Adam Cerra will be for pick 6 and potential. I think Cerra's pick 6. Now, normally when I say 2 first rounders, if it's around 10 to 18, I'm more inclined to say 2 first rounders, but pick 6 is a valuable pick. So pick 6 and a future second will be about right. But if Fremantle were to ask for pick 6 and another future first at Carlton, which will probably be around pick 6, so 2 picks around 6, you might say it's a bit too much. But again, Freo don't really have the the leverage here, because he's out of contract. And if he walked to the preseason draft, they won't want that to happen and wouldn't get 2 to Carlton that way. North or Hawthorn would probably pinch him. So yeah, he'll get their pick 6 and a future second. Sounds about right though there. Seb Ross and the Saints, more than likely, still the update is he'll stay on a 2-year deal with a trigger of a third or wage. Robbie Tarrant will get to Richmond as a free agent. George Stewart will get to Carlton as a free agent. Pretty straightforward for those two. Now, this is an interesting one. Callum Coleman-Jones from Richmond, he's going to North Melbourne. Now, North Melbourne have the leverage here. People say, Cooper, why? Well, A, he's out of contract, so Richmond don't have any leverage really there. And North Melbourne will have pick 1 in the pre-season draft. I'm not talking about the main draft. Clearly, they'll get Jason Horne-Francis, but the Roos have the leverage here. They'll say to Richmond will say, we want to pick in the 20s. He was drafted around that time. Played 8 games or so in 4 years. So no one is worth a first-round pick or close to when they played 8 games in 4 years. Picking the 30s even is a bit of a stretch. So if North Melbourne, if I was them, offer pick in the 40s at best. If Richmond aren't happy, say no worries. We'll take him for free in the preseason draft, and no one can stop him from doing that because they've got pick 1 in the preseason draft. They'll just need to have a list spot open on the senior list, and they'll do that. They'll work it out, the Roos list management team. So they could end up getting him for free. But if not, Richmond will just have to take what North offer. Mabiel Chol, now he's a free agent from the Tigers, going to the Gold Coast on a 4-year deal. They'll get whatever compo pick they'll get. Now, I want to point out with free agency too. For example, Mabiel Chol and Robbie Tarrant scenario. So Tarrant coming from the Roos, Richmond getting as a free agent costs nothing in terms of picks or anything. But if they want the compensation pick for Mabiel Chol, which should probably be a third round in the 40s, 50s, they cannot then bring in Robbie Tarrant as a free agent, because then they'll cancel out the compo pick. So Robbie Tarrant's now more likely to be a trade, whereas they'll copy a combo pick for Chol and they'll trade for Tarrant for late 4th round pick or something. Tarrant's a good player. North don't have the leverage with this one. They would love it to be as a free agent, so they get a compo pick. If it fits the code, it depends on the length of the contract, the money. So they might not even get a compo pick if Tarrant's on cheap money at Richmond at a 2-year deal. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see with that. But Richmond will work things out there. They'll end up probably trading for Robbie Tarrant so they can get the combo pick for Chol, who's going to Gold Coast on a 4-year deal. Now, Peter Laddams been linked to St Kilda in Sydney. People saying, what about Geelong or Bulldogs? I don't see that happening. He wants to play as a number 1 ruck. That won't happen. I would say Geelong, Western Bulldogs, St Kilda, Sydney. Sydney and St Kilda certainly wouldn't. You've got Tom Hickey and Rowan Marshall / Paddy Ryder there as the number 1 ruck duos. And even got Cal Sinclair at Sydney as well, and he was a re-sign for another year. So, along with Colin O'Riordan, what's his name? I've had a brain fade here. Who's that? Young Braden Campbell's on a 3-year extension at the end of 2025 with the Swans just today. Yeah, so Bulldogs and Geelong say, Reece Stanley. Bulldogs have got Steph Martin next year still. So Laddams is not going to be the number 1 ruck at either of those clubs that he's linked to. So he might have to stick it out of Port. He's got another year's on the back end of the deal, apparently. So I wouldn't be. Now, when I say people, you're saying Coopers, you've linked St Kilda to him. Yeah, interested. I didn't say he's going there. I didn't say he's going to any club. I'm just said clubs that are interested. Jack Loney's been told, like Dean Ken, they have to wait to the end of the trade period. I wrote a long time ago that Loney was going to be let go. So I'm going to see now a change of thought here. They might want to keep Loney now on a one-year deal. They could even push him to the rookie list, maybe, but we'll have to wait and see there. Daniel Talley had been linked to Essendon and St Kilda. St Kilda definitely have been linked to key defenders. With Tom Cleary as well, we'll get to in a sec. But now, as I revealed on the page, Lachie Henderson, quote-unquote, retired, which I don't like the treatment of this. I don't like it. People say, it's because it's Geelong, right? No. It seems to be more and more common over the last 5 years that players that are quote-unquote retired are forced by their clubs to retire, and the player says they're retired because they know they might not get a contract elsewhere or want to go elsewhere. The clubs give them the choice, go, you can retire or we'll put you as delisted, like some players in the past. Basher Hawley, same case, wanted to play on. They quote-unquote retired him. Nick Riewoldt was quote-unquote retired. He wanted to stay on. So, of course, Riewoldt retired, so he didn't have a different name to the end of his career. So it was some players been treated crap, and Lachie Henderson been treated crap. So they've now pushed him out and shown interest in Daniel Talley. He's got some suitors, Daniel Talley, as I said, St Kilda, Essendon, and Geelong. It was a Cooper. Jake Kelly's going to Adelaide, from Adelaide to Essendon as a free agent. He's an intercept defender. He's not a key defender. And the team told he might play a lockdown role on small forwards that Essendon first. So he's not a key defender. Daniel Talley is the need. Michael Hurley's still got a question mark over him. He might be on the list next year, but might not even play again. So Geelong are interested in Talia. Now, he may not even want to go to any of these three clubs because he may want to stay in Adelaide because apparently his partner's got a new job in Adelaide. He apparently could have some work lined up in Adelaide as well, Talia, and play some Sanford footy, or local footy there. So he may not decide to go to any of these clubs that are showing interest. We'll have to wait and see. Tom Cleary, a fellow South Australian counterpart, Tom Cleary from the Power. The Saints are interested. He's got 1 year left to go on his contract. Apparently, he's got a back end a long contract. Saints are interested. He's either going to go to St Kilda or stay. St Kilda would need a key defender. I think Tom Cleary is the key defender side of things, should be their number one target. They can't get him. They should just get Daniel Talia. If they can't get Daniel Talia, then they may have to look into the Sample or the Waffle or the VFL for a key defender. Because Dougal Howard needs some support. There Carlisle, Frawley retiring. Dara Joyce may stay if no key defenders come in through the trade period of free agency, but wait and see. He's another one that's to wait along with Paul Hunter. Tom Lynch for the Crows got delisted again. He was actually listed as delisted. Like Dave McKay was kind of pushed in a similar boat. Tom Lynch, yeah. Sorry, I got the two Toms written together, so you almost confused me there. Tom Lynch going to North Melbourne. He's said on Trade Radio today as a development coach, and more likely to be playing VFL. So he might be doing the a la Tyson Goldsack, listed on the rookie list, so he can play VFL, then AFL if required. That's what he seems to have hinted at. Mason Cox, Graham White, the list manager of the Collingwood Footy Club, was on today saying him and Braden Sire have not been offered a contract. I'll have to wait till the end of the trade. But Braden Cox has got some interest from Brisbane. A club like St Kilda could show a little form of interest as a backup if they can't get Laddams or play in that area, which they've said they want a forward ruck. Why not Mason Cox? He won't be in the best 22 as a depth option. I think he's a better depth option than someone from the reserves. So to wait and see that. Charlie Constable is absolutely gone. Jordan Clark will request a trade of Freo. Nat 5 pretty much said that. He's got a year to go, and Nat 5 was pretty confident. So he'll probably go to the Dockers. Well, he will go to the Dockers if he goes. As whether the Geelong let him go, and he's got a year to go. Trent Dumont, North Melbourne lowballed him with a low offer. He's a good player. He was injured for parts of this year. I like Trent Dumont. I think he's going to stay, but Adelaide have said they've got some interest and they'll keep it tabs. Not major interest, but they'll probably wait towards the end of the trade period to see there if Trent Dumont. Surely he does not get delisted because he's too good of a player to be delisted. Nathan Wright, he used to play St Kilda. Graham Wright, the list manager of the Pies, has said that Nathan Kruger and Geelong, they're going through something with Geelong for Nathan Kruger. So he is going to the Pies. Saints had shown some interest, but he will be a Pie, along with Pat Lipinski, who was officially nominated Collingwood the other day. We'll go there for the Pies. Boyd Woodcock, we'll have to wait to the end of the trade period for the Power, young small forward. They should re-sign him on a 1 year deal, to be honest, with Robbie Gray only having a year left. Where are we? Mitch Wallace, he'll be gone. And Jared Brander, the final guy I'm going to go through today. I can exclusively reveal on September 9th, I said that him and Carlton watch space, and people saying, "Oh, Tommy Morris, who put out a report, fair enough, as he did, just doing what he does, doing his job." People telling me, copying what Tom said. No, I wrote it on September 9th. I said the Carlton link, watch your space. So if people are telling me I had no exclusive on this, I did. So lift your game. Carlton seems to be the place he'll end up at. So Carlton will be pretty active with Chera, Hewitt, more likely Jared Brandon joining their ranks. And they're still linked to a few other players. So I'll have to wait and see there. Now, hope you enjoy that trade wrap. Now, it's time. Oh, it's time for the long, lengthy, extensive investigation. Now, you'll say, Cooper, what the hell are you been investigating for so long? Well, I'm going to show you right now what I am investigating. Now, you're going to watch this clip, okay? And I want you to listen to the clip and keep an eye on the timer in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, and leave your thoughts down below. And then, after the clip's played, I will leave my thoughts on it. Your 3 questions start now. What number does Toby McLean wear for the Western Bulldogs?
16.
What number does Jack Steele wear for the St Kilda?
9.
What number does Sean Darcy wear for Fremantle?
21. I don't know. 21.
Cut that. Bev. No, that was number 4. Sean Darcy is number 4. So you got 3 right. 26 questions. You got 6 seconds. Toby McLean answer was correct. I was hoping you'd get that right, number 16. And Jack Steele is number 9. So, yeah, I've got 26 seconds, and to hopefully now get 3 out of 3 to beat to make the timer relevant. Bev, off you go.
All right, first question. Name the 2 AFL stadiums in Tasmania.
Utah Stadium and Bloodstone Arena.
Which teams have won the most AFL premierships?
Carlton. Carlton.
And final question, which year was Marcus Bontempelli drafted?
2015. 3, but I had to beat 26 seconds. Now, my producer tells me that I had 28 seconds. So unless he's been cheating because he's a fan of yours, Bev, to let you win, you're the quiz master by 2 seconds.
Right.
Now. You see that with Bev. Yes, that long, lengthy investigation was about Bev. You've seen the quiz that we played. Now, if you looked at the timer, I added all the times up together, okay? And the times that was shown on that episode did not add up to our actual time. Now, the time was different. I'm just trying to get the times up in front of me because I did write this down. I want to tell you guys right now that I am putting blame. I've investigated. We've gone through we've had through our lawyers. We've gone through our investigation, and I can exclusively reveal that the investigation is closed, and I can exclusively reveal and confirm that Bev did not win the quiz. Yours truly, Cooper Gretsch, the sole admin of AFL Information, Trade Rumours and Results, is the quiz master, not Bev. Bev was cheated and gifted a few seconds by my producer, and I'll let my producer know about this throughout this whole incident, that I've gone through the times, and I am the winner. We both got 2 out of 3 correct, but as I said on that show, it was if there was a tie with the most amount of questions right, it would go down to the seconds it was answered in. Now, Bev answered his 2 out of 3 correctly in 20. Well, he answered all questions, and with 2 out of 3 right in 25 seconds. I answered mine 2 out of 3 right, which would then go down to seconds. So I answered all mine in 23 seconds. So your winner of the quiz, the real quiz master between Bev and I, is yours truly, Cooper Gretsch, the sole admin of AFL information, trade rumors and results by 2 seconds. 23 seconds to me, 25 to Bev. Unfortunately for Bev, this is not golf. It thinks it's golf. 25 seconds. I was 23. The lower the score, in this case, the better. This ain't 10-pin bowling, Bev. This is like golf. The lowest amount of time is correct. So again, your winner of the quiz, Cooper Gretsch. And acknowledge me as the winner, Bev. Oh, not only Bev and my producer, they know who they are, and Bev, you guys in the end have had no choice after going through this investigation with me, knowing I am the rightful winner of the quiz. So you guys and everyone else who thought I wasn't the winner will have nothing to do but acknowledge me and get your acknowledgement t-shirts on the merch website, which was released tonight. So I hope you guys enjoy that long, lengthy investigation. And I am so proud of myself knowing that I actually won the quiz. Now, my final thought, I'll leave your thoughts down below too, guys, of that. My final thoughts are this. You want me on Cameo, head to cameo.com/Cooper G merch. Get your Acknowledge Me t-shirts, all hoodies, stubby holders, mugs, everything, t-shirts, stickers still on there. Get yours today. My other final thoughts are this. Now, people could be saying, Scoops, when's your next guest on the show? Well, there will be a guest on the show next week. I'm not going to say who yet, but there is a guest on the show next week. And I'm just going to tease you with this. The tease is one thing. Just think of this. Football TV show. Football TV show. That is your hint. Now you could say it's a bit vague, but that's, I don't want to make the hint too obvious. So football TV show. Football TV show. That particular person will be on the show next week, and it's going to be a great interview, and I hope you guys will enjoy that. I'll mention it, who it is, during the week, but until then, I cannot do that. Until next time, I'll have a great one. And most important thing to remember is, oh, you thought I was going to say go the Saints? Well, that is what I'm going to say, go the Saints. And also, you guys will have to do one thing for me before you leave this live stream. In the chat, there's one thing you'll have to do, and that is acknowledge me.